I suppose at the outset, I welcome both of these citizens' assemblies, but I do think that we need to take stock of the previous assembly that we've had on gender equality, and it is of concern, despite COVID, that there are 45 recommendations across a number of areas, and indeed I share the concern of my own colleague, Deputy Sir Clark, who is concerned that because of the inaction from that citizens' assembly, that it may result in people less likely to incline to participate in future assemblies. So we have a citizens' assembly report. We now have a gender equality committee in place, and yet the importance of that work has to be made by a decision by government. So I would appreciate if that was expedited. Now, the destruction of biodiversity and the measures to strengthen local democratic accountability are hugely important, and the destruction of biodiversity is accelerating at an alarming rate. But immediate action needs to go alongside this citizens' assembly. It's important we don't put everything on hold, because agriculture will no doubt be a vitally important theme in that discussion. And our family farmers, I believe, stand ready to deliver the substantial change we need, but they cannot do so without support and without clear guidance. Sinn Féin will always defend and support agriculture and rural economies across the entire island. And we know the importance of this industry to our national economy and the role it has to play in delivering high quality food whilst contributing to Ireland's ambitious targets on biodiversity and climate change. But they need a clear plan and real financial backing. Minister, can you ensure that, unlike the two previous agri-environmental schemes, enclosed lands with heather are not included from low-input permanent pasture measures, because we all know that the peatlands are of the utmost importance in the carbon store? Again, Minister, organic farming, while only one aspect of how we address biodiversity, is an extremely important one. One of the major drawbacks of promoting organic farming is the amount of bureaucracy attached to organic production. Working from a base of 2%, we have a huge lot of ground to make up. But again, I welcome the Citizens' Assembly on biodiversity, though the government needs to be doing more in parallel with the discussions being held. But Minister, when we talk about citizens' assemblies, we cannot continue to ignore the urgent need for a citizens' assembly on Irish unity, on reunification. The Good Friday Agreement provides for the democratic pathway to Irish reunification. However, the power to call the two concurrent referenda, North and South, is in the hands of the Secretary of State and the British Government, and legally the British Government is obliged to call a referendum on Irish reunification when it appears likely that a majority would express a wish that the North should cease to be part of the UK and form part of a united Ireland. The timing of calling a referendum still resting with the British Government, and the ambiguity over the criteria to determine when a likely vote could be won, means that we need to be ready. The debate on Irish reunification is growing nationally and internationally. The momentum for constitutional change on the island has never been stronger. Questions around healthcare, education, governance arrangements, taxation, pensions, public services and the place of unionists within a new Ireland are among the many important issues that a Citizens' Assembly could discuss in an informed environment. People deserve to be voting in a situation where we have full information. There has been extensive civic leadership in the constitutional conversation. Grassroots movements such as Think 32, Shared Ireland Future and the Constitutional Conversations Group, among others, have demonstrated a commitment to innovation in their approaches to ensure debate. Indeed, universities on both islands are debating and discussing the issue. I believe, Minister, that we are failing, we're failing, and you're failing as a government in not setting a Citizens' Assembly to discuss these really important matters. We see what happened in terms of Brexit and not being prepared. And I think the government is speaking out of both sides of its mouth, because in one sense you say we can't have a referendum on Irish unity until we're prepared. We fully agree with you in that in Sinn Féin. But honestly, there is a responsibility on government to ensure that a Citizens' Assembly is set up, amongst other things, to discuss the challenges and to discuss the opportunities that are presented with reunification. I don't think we can go on ignoring the elephant in the room when so many people are demanding this to be done. Thank you, Minister.